really meant that, didn't you, Matthew?
Yes.
How long have you felt like this?
Since I first met you.
But why me?
Because you're different.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I'm just like anyone else.
Well, honestly, Christine, you're not like anyone else. You're different.
Oh, Matthew, a friend you had known before.
Never mind. We're together now and nothing's going to come between us.
You mean I can stay?
Yes. Of course you can stay.
Well, I can't go back there.
No.
They never understood me. Does your father understand you?
Oh, yeah. You see, we talk the same language, share each other's things. You take us for brothers, except he looks so old. Here he is now. Before he comes in, Christine, I think I should warn you, he has a very dry sense of humour. Very dry. When you first meet him, he may say something that sounds rude, even insulting. But that's just his very dry sense of humour. Hello, Dad.
I didn't know the circus was in town.
See what I mean, Christine? Dry. Dad, this is Christine.
Matthew, do you mind if I have a word with you?
Yes, all right, you do that, Christine.
What's that doing here?
That? Do you mean Christine?
I mean the third witch out of Macbeth who's just gone into my kitchen. What's she doing here?
She's fixing us a meal, as a matter of fact.
You've not let her near the food.
I thought it was a very nice gesture.
What has she got out there, a cauldron?
No. She's putting the finishing touches to a mixed grill.
We'll probably put the finishing touches to us if we're not careful. You see her fingernails?
Look, Dad, I'm not going to stand here and listen to you insult her.
Then sit down. Or better still, get her out of here.
You don't have to be so offensive. Just because I brought a girl home.
I don't mind you bringing a girl home. I've often thought it'd be good for you. Some nice girl with a well-modulated voice and a cool handshake. Fresh complexion, nice clothes. I've even looked forward to it. Didn't expect the bride of Dracula.
It might surprise you to know she's very popular. Most of the guys around here are crazy about her.
What does she use, hypnosis?
Just because she's different? You're so bourgeois.
I don't mind her being different. We all like to express ourselves. You're looking at an old teddy boy. I used to have a jacket down to my knees and 3-inch crepe soles. I was banned from all the dance halls around here. I was really way out. But I still look like a member of the human race.
Dad, just be careful what you say about her.
Why? She won't turn me into a frog, will she?
She means a lot to me. I don't want you to say anything you'll regret that'll drive a wedge between us. Now, come through and eat. Oh, I've taken the liberty in opening a bottle of wine.
Wine? With a fry-up?
Yeah. Well, we've got something to celebrate.
What have we got to celebrate?
Our engagement. Christine wants to know if there's anything wrong with the sausages.
Oh, they're excellent.
You haven't eaten any.
Well, I always save the best till last. I might even keep them to the weekend. Have them with a salad. Is there any more wine left?
Yes, I'll ask in a minute, Christine. Why don't you go and sit in the lounge? You look tired. We'll wash up.
We'll watch. Is there going to be much of that?
What?
Kissing.
Why are you always embarrassed by displays of affection?
That wasn't affection, that was naked lust.
We are engaged.
Oh, are you? I didn't see any announcement in the Times.
We haven't made it official yet.
Well, take my advice, don't. She's not ready for marriage. Hasn't learned to speak yet.
course she can speak.
Not out loud.
She's shy.
Shy?
Painfully shy. She thinks people are staring at her.
Of course they're staring at her. She's a bloody freak, Matthew.
We're going to start that again.
Listen, how can you marry someone who can't speak? You'll never get through the service. You can't say she will. It's not legal. Or are you going to use a ventriloquist?
I'll build up a confidence.
You can't change people, Matthew. I know, I've tried. So don't do something you'll regret all your life. Look ahead. You want a wife who's going to help you in your career. You may want to bring the boss home for dinner one night. Now, what's he going to think when he sees Coco the clown pouring out the
I'm not listening to any more of this.
All right, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I won't say another word against it. I am merely trying to point out the dangers. You're not ready for marriage either.
I know you don't want me to get married, and I understand. You've got used to me being around. But I won't leave you on your own. You won't be losing me.
I'm not worried about losing you. I'm worried about gaining her.
There you go again.
I'm merely trying to wake you up to reality. You haven't thought about this. What does a father do?
I don't know.
Well, has he got any money?
Money? I don't know. Does it matter?
Of course it matters. Someone's got to pay for the reception. It's not going to be me. Well, money's important. Don't make the mistake I made.
Didn't Grandad have any money?
Well, if he did, I never saw any of it. When I asked him for permission to marry your mother, do you know what he said? He said, all right, you can have her, but she comes as she is. You're on your own now. You'll get nothing from me.
Did he mean it?
No, not really. 10 years after he said that, he gave me his burnt-out power drill.
At least he didn't stand in your way.
Stand in my way. Couldn't wait to get rid of her. He was on an economy drive at the time. He just had the dog put down and she was next. He didn't even want to pay for the wedding. He used to leave his letter outside in the hope we'd elope.
At least you're married for love.
Yes, I'm married for love. And where did he get me?
Well, I love her.
Well, you love banana milkshakes, but you don't want them for the rest of your life. It won't last.
It will. You'll see. You'll like her once you get to know her.
Well, how am I going to get to know her?
I've asked her to stay. Just for a couple of days.
She can't stay here.
Why not?
Because the spare room's full of apples. We've broken the camp bed.
Well, that doesn't matter. She can use my room.
Your room?
She can't go home. She's had this row with her parents and I said she could stay.
Your room?
I thought you'd understand.
Understand? Oh, I understand, all right. And if you think I'm going to be a party to that, you're very much mistaken.
Party to what?
Just because your voice is broken and you're shaving every day, don't think you can play that game.
What game?
And while she's sleeping in your bed, where are you going to sleep? On top of the wardrobe?
No. With you. You've got a double bed. You didn't think I was suggesting that...
No, of course not. Neither.
Oh, won't be the first time we've shared a bed. Remember when I used to creep in the mornings and snuggle up?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Where are you going?
I'm going to move those apples. Yes, Enid.
Mr. Willows, I've just been into the spare room to give your Laxton Superbs a light dusting, and what do you think I found?
What did you find, Enid?
I found Matthew rolling around the bed with this girl.
Oh, yes, that's Christine. I meant to mention her.
I wish you had. As you know, I'm not easily shocked, but for a moment I completely lost my composure. I dropped the rosewater jug, I'm afraid.
Oh, no.
It's not my fault. I didn't realise you condone such behaviour.
Well, I don't exactly condone it, but they are engaged.
Engaged? That's no excuse. The late Mr. Thompson and I were engaged for 2 years, but he didn't get a foot on the stairs till after the honeymoon.
Yes, well, you know, Matthew, he was probably trying to shock you.
Well, he certainly succeeded. I don't know what he was doing to that girl, but all her hair was standing up.
Well, that's the fashion.
She looked as if she'd been pulled through a hedge backwards.
Yes, I know. I think he's only doing this to irritate me. That's why I thought, if I showed them I didn't care, let them alone together, well, he might get bored with it.
He didn't look bored to me. He looked quite flushed. I think this is something that needs to be nipped in the bud, Mr. Willows.
Well, just leave it with me, Enid. I know what I'm doing.
Do you? And perhaps you can explain this little item.
Where'd you find it?
In Matthew's room. Have you any idea what it is?
Looks like some sort of game. Ah, yes, I see. You've got to get this little ball into that plastic tube. There's a mirror here. Not sure what that's for. And here are the two symbols, plus and minus. That probably shows whether you've won or lost.
Certainly does.
Is it a game of chance?
You could say that. I've seen one of those before.
When?
When my sister's girl had her little bit of trouble.
Mm-hmm. What trouble?
She was pregnant.
What?
That's what this is for. It's a pregnancy test.
And he's up there with her, rolling about on the bed.
I just hope it's not too late to close the stable door, Mr. Willows.
I'm not going to close the stable door. I'm going to have a word with the horse.
Where's Christine? Resting. Wouldn't disturb her.
No, of course not. She seems to tire very easily.
She's not very strong.
I suppose she's all right.
What?
I mean, she's not been sick or anything.
No, she's fine.
Oh, good. Then there's nothing to worry about.
Where did that come from?
Out of a cracker, where do you think?
My room?
Yes. I just wondered what it was.
I'm not sure. It's Christine's. I think you have to get this little ball into this plastic.
Don't try that with me. I'm not a fool. I'm in touch with medical developments, and I know what that is. She's pregnant, isn't she?
I don't know.
Well, if you don't know, no one does. You've studied history. You've heard of cause and effect. Well, you're the cause, and that's the effect.
I mean, it's not definite.
Isn't it?
But there is a possibility that she may be with child.
Don't come that fancy chat with me. It's not funny. How much of a possibility?
Well, something that should have happened hasn't happened.
You mean something that shouldn't have happened has happened? You randy little toad. I should have known. You couldn't wait, could you? You could never wait for anything. Ever since I can remember, you've always opened your presents before your birthday, and you're still doing it. A father at 18. And I used to worry you might become homosexual. What? You realise what you've done, don't you? You realise you've ruined your life.
It's not my life you're worried about. It's yours. You're only worried about appearances, what people might say.
Well, of course I am. What's wrong with that?
Christine and I have rejected society.
I mean, society's rejected you, and I don't blame it. Why couldn't you have waited?
What for?
Marriage.
Who waits for marriage?
I did. I was engaged to your mother for 5 years, and she was still married in white.
That doesn't mean anything.
What?
5 years. I mean, didn't you ever? Not once. Something must have happened.
No. It didn't.
If you'd still been married to Mum, how many years would it have been?
This would have been our 18th.
I'm nearly 18.
You were premature.
You mean you were?
No, I don't. What are you suggesting?
That I was a love child.
There was nothing lovable about you.
That's why you've always resented me, isn't it? Because you had to get married.
No, where do you get this idea from?
Auntie Marge told me. She said you were engaged for 5 years and then it was all over in a rush.
A vicious old bat. Well, she can talk. She was married by special licence, 24 hours notice. She blamed the war. Said there was a troop ship leaving for the Middle East. There were two young people trying to snatch happiness from under the shadow of the guns. They all believed her till she fainted in the registry office.
Sounds as if it runs in the family. I don't know all the fuss is about. After all, it may never happen. You don't mind if I take this?
You will keep me informed, won't you? I might want to start knitting some woolly mittens.
Of course, you'll be the first to know.
You don't sound concerned.
That's because I've got you to advise me. Yes. All right, Christine. Don't worry.
Well, don't keep me in suspense.
He's positive. You're angry with me, aren't you?
What did you expect? You think I was going to give you a big hug?
Why not? You're supposed to hug your children.
Who says?
Psychiatrists think it's a good idea.
Well, let psychiatrists hug them.
You never hugged me, did you?
No.
Why not?
Because you're always covered in jam and I only one decent suit in those days.
At least we could have a drink together and talk this over.
There's nothing to talk over. You've gone too far this time.
Is it because you're going to be a grandfather?
What?
Do you think you're too young?
I think you're too young to be a father. And she's certainly too young to be a mother.
We'll manage.
I hope that we doesn't include me.
You're not going to wash your hands of us, are you?
Fetch the soap. If you insist on going through with this, then you're on your own.
Well, we haven't got any choice.
Yes, you have. I've been thinking about this all day, and there is an alternative. Now, it's only a suggestion, and you're not going to like it, but... Well, in view of her age, they might consider an abortion.
Dad?
I said you wouldn't like it.
You couldn't do that to a defenceless baby.
Well, it's not a baby.
Yes, it is. And in a few weeks, it'll be sucking its thumb. Could you do that to someone sucking his thumb?
It was only a suggestion.
Don't know how you could suggest such a thing.
All right, I'm sorry. I didn't know you'd feel like that. It's just that I'm not prepared to start another family at my age. I've only just got the stains off the carpet from the last time.
That's not the real reason, is it? You don't like her, do you?
No. If you're going to press me on the point, I don't.
Why?
Because she's moody and dead miserable.
Right. At least I know where I stand.
And where are you going?
To look for somewhere to live. It's obvious you don't want me here.
Matthew.
Yeah?
Have you thought about adoption?
Who's going to adopt me at my age? I think I'll go out the back way.
Why?
Where is she?
Who?
You know who.
Just a minute. I don't remember asking you in.
But I've every right. I am looking for my daughter, and I know she's here.
Oh.
Yes. Oh.
You're Christine's father.
That's right.
I think I know why she left home.
She didn't leave home. She was abducted.
Abducted?
Yes. By that idle, lazy, good-for-nothing layabout. The ones with holes in his trousers and big boots. You know the one I mean?
I think I recognise the description.
Do you want to make anything of it?
Oh, no, you won't offend me. I'm not a proud father.
Yeah, what is she seeing him?
I've no idea.
She was a lovely girl.
When?
When she went with Brian.
Who's Brian?
Nice lad. Works at the electricity board. Drives his own Cortina. I mean, we had hopes. What does she do? She goes off with his waster with his kneecaps sticking out. Came round last night.
Who?
Brian. Tears in his eyes.
Poor old Brian.
What could I say to him?
I've no idea. Would you like a drink?
No, I don't want a drink.
You will. You see, we've got things to discuss.
We have nothing to discuss.
Oh, yes, we have.
Christine! She's up here, isn't she? I am going up those stairs.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No.
I am going up those stairs. I'm going to put her across my knee and I'm going to give her a good hiding. I should have done it weeks ago.
But you can't.
Why not?
Because she's pregnant. Has Nick gone quiet? I can hear that clock ticking.
Pregnant?
Yes.
I think I will have that drink.
Good.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Oh. Oh, what am I going to tell her mother? We've just got her into teachers' training college.
Oh, I'm sorry. The point is, what are we going to do about them?
Well, I know what I'm going to do about him. I'm going to have his guts.
I think you'd be relieved that's all you want.
What?
Look, I know how you feel. But in the words of the song, it takes two to tango. Besides, it's too late for recriminations.
You don't know how I feel. I mean, if you had a daughter, you would understand.
I've got a daughter.
Oh, and I suppose you've got the perfect relationship.
Yeah, she lives with her mother. Listen, why don't you have a word with Christine and then see how she feels?
Oh, I don't want to see her.
Well, you wanted to see her badly enough a minute ago.
Yeah, but I can't see her, not now.
But you have to. You're still her father. She's lonely and she's frightened. You've got to see her.
What am I going to say to her?
Don't say anything. Just give her a big hug.
What, after what's happened?
Because of what's happened. Christine!
A big hug? You sure?
Oh, yes, it's the thing to do. I have it on the best authority.
Oh. Oh, Chrissy.
Oh, Daddy, I want to come home. I hate it here.
Hello, Dad. Where's Christine?
Matthew, I've got something to tell you.
What?
You know the way I'm always saying life's full of disappointments?
Yeah?
And that's all part of growing up?
Yeah, and never expect too much of people because they'll only let you down.
That's right.
What's happened?
Christine's gone home. She doesn't want to see you again.
Oh.
If it means anything, I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
And I know the way you feel about the baby and everything, and, well, we'll face that when it comes. We'll make financial arrangements. And there'll be visiting on Sundays and trips to the zoo. Won't be so bad.
No, I couldn't. Not now. I mean, it's not as if it's mine.
What did you just say?
It's not mine. I mean, I'm not actually the father. Didn't I mention that?
Not in as many words, no. If it isn't yours, whose is it?
Brian's. He works at the electricity board. Happened in the back of his Cortina. They quarrelled and she came to me. It's probably gone back to him now. Anything in the fridge? I'm starving.